Hello, hello. That is wrong. Welcome to my stream. Part of the Visual Novel Week. So hello, welcome. I am Tara Faye Bell / Bronte. And I am streaming just working on my visual novel. So we have a sprint timer. So for this first hour, I'm just working on my visual novel. Then we're gonna have a break, and then I've got a presentation about it. Yeah. So I have a plan for the first 3 sprints. So we're gonna have 3 sprints, and then break. Do I remember what my plan was? It's always the question. Sound is very nice today. That's good. Like the voice or the background or everything, I don't know. Thank you, and hello, Elfking. Woo! Anyways, currently... Oh, awesome. Which one's it coming? Okay, anyways. That's good. That's good. Thank you. I'm just... checking something. Here we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. So my first... talk about this a little. So... I call my process chucking everything in a chaos bucket. Anyways, so... part of what I'm start with is like, okay, here's my story and here's the flowchart. So I have like, well, actually the way I did it is I wrote like a novel. I don't know how many words it was, but I think it was close. Was it close to 50k? Or maybe it was half that. I don't know. Anyways, I wrote a massive long story of what I thought the story of this was going to be. And then I started writing it in script format for the visual novel. So this is what I have currently on for the words. And I have to check this is the right script, because it used to be called something else. But okay. Okay, yep, so I'll put all draft 1 in there. So this is, yeah. Okay, so introduction. Yes, basically the prologue, and that's the first 4 scenes. Okay. Yeah, so I started writing it in script format. I didn't get that far. But I sort of, after starting writing it, realizing how the story was going to change, deciding to add instead of having one linear story, having a branch, and then there's like a good and a bad. end as well. So there's kind of 4 branches in the end. But yes. So definitely started like writing it, and then kind of an outline turned into this big flowchart, which I drew by hand. I have part of it on Miro, which is sort of what I want to look at, is where did I get up to. This is also called, this is the old name. So I just want to check that all the scenes are right, and then continue doing my flowchart, because that is, it's important. Like, particularly for keeping everything together and sort of noting where the variables are, and then for me as well, where all the mini games are, because some of the mini games kind of have to be duplicated, but then something about them will still have to change depending on which pathway you take. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so that's chapter 1. So scene 1 house, scene 2 mines. Yep. And this should be the right set. So 3 middle room, 4 mines. Scene 5 portal. Okay, yeah, so I want to. So basically I'd like, okay, these are the, effectively the prologue. So I'll just square it. But I do have to add, I think I added a game in here. 3, 4. Okay, so scene 4. Okay. Did I label the games as? It's been a while since I looked at this one specifically. Oh, here we go, green. Anyways, my first sprint's just going to be working on my flowchart for a little bit. And then I'll get to some of the scripting in the next sprint. My brother was telling me I don't need to write maths minigame everyone, because they're all maths. Okay, is that the only? Realm Arm Folder, I should specify that. Was it too bad? But yeah, color coding everything helps. So then I can sort of look at the whole thing and go, okay, these are scenes, these are games. I started putting the other variable choices in there, but I think I will ignore that for now. Seeing as that's taking me this is meant to get here. Okay, so that's chapter 1. Not chapter 1, the prequel chapter. And another one, okay. Oh, and I need a map. Hello. Hydrating Pando. Nice. Chapter 1. See what we got. Cheers, elf. Okay, scene 6. Little town, which actually is just going to be Lacoma. Because I was going to have a different town, but I don't think so. So even with this, it's still like, there's still heaps of things to change, but that is fine. Because yeah, it's drafting. Seven Town Hall is right. Okay, and then we've added a game there. Game technically breakdown. Okay. So April. And then you get a different choice to go here, and you get to switch. You get to scene 9, which is what I'm doing for the proof of concept. Contains office, and we have 2. Here, although I'm only doing 1 for the proof of concept. You'll see. Yeah. So I'll leave that there. Oh, actually, did I finish? Box for chapter 1. Okay, cool. Yeah, flowchart. Flowchart's definitely important to keep track of all the different things. As I said, I have a handwritten one. I have like a full folder of all my stuff. That is soft copy here. And then, yeah, a lot of stuff on the computer. Yeah. What's that one? Okay, so where did I get up to in scripting? dinner. Not sure what's happening there. Blue. Okay, so that's for the portal. And then 4 or 5 is... Okay, it tries to be at the stone wall of elves. I need to come up with names for his aunt and uncle, but eh. Come another day. I sort of haven't quite got an image of who they are yet, so I kind of need that to name them. See, this is why you have to check everything. So I am now confused of where I'm up to because I have like a dinner and then a feast, and they do not go after each other, but I've said that they do, so no. So I haven't read anything about the mermaids yet. But maybe I put something at the end of chapter 3 that should be at the end of chapter 4. Question myself, come back later. Because I think, okay, I have an outline of the stone cliff stuff, at least. So, let's work on the mermaids. Cheers, Elle. Okay. So, why does the mermaid first come? I had a reason initially. Maybe they come to talk about I don't know. If they still have a device that links to give us a reason. Lacamas are having a portal town, but maybe Lacama is the... No. I think the portal is just gonna chill there. Lacama's just closest to it now. So the portal itself kind of still chilling elsewhere. Okay, so... now the mermaid messenger has a name that I cannot say, but it starts with a C and it's very blue, so I like it. So this is the old draft design name. It's like Chapalasamisa. Anyways, this is the draft, so there's a few things from here that I like. We name things and then don't pronounce the names. So, writers are great. Is it carry because the messenger carries messages? Look, you can shorten it to that if you want. I think, if memory serves me correctly, it was, I named it this because it means fast runner in Egyptian or something like that. I remember looking up something like that, whether this was that or similar, or I often look up names and then slightly change them, so don't quote me on it, but that's where the inspiration came from at the very least. Or fast something. So I think he's like the fastest messenger they have. So, cheers. So he's there. Who would he be talking to? Probably the king, honestly. And Kyle. I mean, Kyle's always there kind of on the wristband, so I have to get like a new drawing of him standing like that, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually. Okay. So, she just wants to be talking. She's just trying to call us into the sun to play with her in her spot. Okay, so Japanese King Cody. And because it is a, what's the word? Draft. First time writing stuff, just get words out and then fix it later. Even if it's just paragraph by paragraph, scene by scene, whole thing by whole thing. Like, honestly, my process is all over the place. Like, I do bits here, bits there, come back and edit those bits and start those ones over here. And it's great. It works because I keep moving forwards. So, that's the main thing. But yeah, okay. So, Triple-Nisa is... So, Sue just starts making... Oh, goodness. Who is his person now? His group are basically Egyptian mermaids. Just think of it like that. I get that. I don't even know if it'd still be called Fairy, but we'll go with that for now. Actually, you know what? Let's just go with heresy. I will probably be changing that later, I'm pretty sure. It's just... bold it, so underline it so I know to change. Actually, I'll put in square brackets. That's my thing. The Kinty Crazy has... See, this is something I do, and I particularly notice it during like World End or summer camp, is I'll write stuff down, and it makes sense to me in the knowledge of the entire thing, but it's like, in terms of if someone's just reading that one particular article or that one particular chapter, it's like, what is going on? And in this case, although it's like a full story, because I'm trying to put the maths in for basically 2 years of high school, I also have to think about it in terms of, okay, if a student hasn't played this game for a little while, like, are they going to know what's going on? So I can't just like, so I have to try and explain it, but also, so someone could just play through it all at once. And then it's designed so that even if you don't know the maths or anything, you could just play through it all. Still go through the maths, but even if you don't understand it, you can still get past it and continue on to the story. So yeah, I can't just be reintroducing everything every scene, but at the same time it's like, okay, be aware that, or maybe someone hasn't looked at it for a little while as well. At least that's what I'm thinking about at the moment as I'm writing it. But it's like, it's at the same time, it's like, okay, if I'm just writing the draft of the script, I don't have to worry about that too much yet. I just got to get stuff out so that I can go edit and then work that out. Then, if I'm planning it to have a more of a like end of year revision, or actually set out certain chapters for, okay, these are the certain topics at school, like, you know, here's these 3 topics per this chapter, maybe you only do a chapter at a time. I'm not sure yet, but that's definitely something I have to think about. Still, I need to be writing more than 2 lines. But also this devices thing just came up recently, so I'm like, okay, but the devices to, who was there? Just call it M for now. No. Break. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and so Demi has suggested that she will find the Colonel and Ferry, and words. I know words. Can I put them in sentences sometimes? Okay, suggests that she'll find Data Carl and Feroci. I have to do something with that, but anyways, I'm checking way too much stuff in a sentence. That's the other thing I realize I can do is I can chuck everything in the sentence or a paragraph in the draft, and then as I edit, I can like spread them out and then have other characters like interact with each sentence at a time and kind of make full dialogues to make things make sense but still fun. Maybe. That's the aim. Cool. Chocolate meat and is another That's why he originally came, is because he got word the portal had broken down. Do they have another portal under the sea though? Does that affect them? Not sure yet. I think they have a small one, but maybe not for... I think they have a small one for messages, but not for people. That would make sense. Okay. Cloud Center Traveler just before. Explosions! Which I'm like, actually might work if I'm giving this to teenagers. I don't know. It's like everything's nice and colourful. No. Okay. The Cloud Center Traveler just before. What was possible? Do explain up. Can you fix it? Yes, maybe. Okay, so last sprint, and I wanted to do some arty stuff. Okay, I think I said I had a plan at the start, and then found my plan, and then didn't say anything. Anyways, my plan was with the flowcharts, which we did the first sprint, go through some of the script and start writing some more of the stuff, which is actually pretty cool where I'm up to now. I'm kind of excited. I'm really going to enjoy the mermaids bit, even though that's only one section, because that's for the next installment after this one is a focus on the Egyptian-inspired mermaids. But there is a section on them in here, like a chapter 6 apparently. And so I wanted to go back to doing some of the art. I'm working on the background at the moment for the for scene 9, which is in King Tain's office. And the main people that you meet in Realm R are Mayan inspired, also maybe alien. Like I've got, okay, Indian Egyptian cross elves, Mayan cross alien, and then Egyptian cross mermaids. My 3 people groups of Realm R. So that's where that comes from. So I'm going to just finish this part of the conversation that I had in my head, and then I'm going to open up the scene. Okay, have you been able to fix the portal yet? Background, what's the backup? There's probably a better word for that. Backup materials. Click and process. Okay, cool. That's that thought down, which is awesome. Also means maybe I'll finish this scene later, and I might actually get my full the word streak today, which would be handy. But that's okay. Okay, so next thing is my cat apparently. Okay, so much fun that I actually worked out how this phone thing works. But yes, this is my awkward scene. But I had an idea, because I'm like, there's too many characters in the scene, and I wanted to keep all of them in the scene the whole time, even though I could just have, okay, when Cody's talking, he's the only one talking. None of the others are standing there, you just get to see the background. That's sort of how a lot of visual novels do it, or they might keep 1 or 2 people, or when he's directly talking about one of the other characters, they pop up on the screen too. And you know, having this week is visual novel week, seeing that and being able to see different visual novels is pretty cool, because it's like, okay, yes, actually I can see my scene here is way too crowded. This is how other people do it. That makes sense. I can see why they do it like that. I still quite like the idea of having everyone there. So my other thought was having just having like basically tiny little chibi versions of all the people just sitting here. Get this a bit bigger. Just kind of like, yeah, here's one person, here's another, and sort of like, okay, these are the people in the scene, but they're not going to take up the whole scene. Not sure how that will work. That'd have to be like super simple versions, so I'll have to talk to my sister because she's my artist, if you know. But again, that won't happen for this first proof of concept, I don't think, but I mean, I'm talking to it on Monday, so we'll see. But like just having them sort of chilling there, because then you know, okay, these are the people in the scene, but they're not trying to take up the whole scene. And then I can, so we don't want to have like the legs too much, is sort of what we worked out last stream of the table, but if I do this, I think I might still keep the table because there might be a couple of things on the table. There might not be, we'll see. But I was thinking even just kind of like like some papers and an inkwell or something. If you could get us some very nice cookies, that would help. Maybe. Yeah. So that's my current thought. How that will change over the next however long it takes me to create this game, who knows, we'll see. But, I mean, that's the point of doing proof of concepts and demos, or one of the points is to just play around with things, see what works, see what doesn't work. I know one of the things that they've been talking about this week, particularly I remember Ingthing talking about it, I may have, I don't know if I, names, anyways, what's the word, talking about scope, and like how much you can do, how much is important, and that's the thing, like I got to keep coming back to, okay, what is the focus of this thing? The focus is actually on the maths. The story is basically driving someone to go through the different math things in the end. It's like, it's that, you know, I want to finish this maths game so I can get to the next part of the story and then continue on. And like, so you actually do the maths and sit through the maths because you want to get to the next part of the story. So the story still has to be it's kind of like the story's a driving force to get you to go through all the stuff, but the main reason for the game is to help teach / revise maths, because it's like, okay, I do sort of teach the maths within it, but at the same time it's like it's teaching the foundations of each topic. I'm not going through these super hard questions, like going from level 1 to level 100, it's like I'm going from level 1 to 10. Can you do the foundations of each topic? Because the processes are more important than the actual maths itself is, can you do the process? The maths is important, but like, yeah. It's like if you can understand the foundations of each topic, it makes it easier to do the harder stuff. So, how much time? Oh, okay. So this is this. Yeah, I have a few ideas for these things, but at the moment, these are meant to be somewhat daylilies, but like magical, basically. So trying to draw that. squiggly. I don't know if it's not quite squiggly, but kind of. So many layers. Yes. Or does the cat want to say hello? She can if she wants. No, she doesn't drink my drink.
I wouldn't trust her that far.
Should I hold my drink? Okay. She's way too excited, huh?
Love it.
Folds easier to. Ruffles, I think is what I was going for. Okay, this is gonna look interesting. It's okay. Hello, coffee! Welcome, Raiders! Woo! Yes, currently working on. Well, after the sprint, we take a 2-minute break, and then a foundations background. Can be, it can be. Oh, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, and then I'll do my presentation on my visual novel. At the moment, I've just been working on. I looked at some of my flowchart, starting to write one of the scenes with one of the Egyptian-inspired mermaid people, which is going to be fun. And then yeah, I'm working on. This is the background for the scene 9, which okay, you can't actually see much of it because I closed the layers. Carlos surgery. Yeah, that happens frequently. Oh, here's the spot. Yeah, we good. So I'll just let me fill this in. I'm trying to draw somewhat of a daylily, but it's gonna be like, so in this world, they are almost magical, but in a sense, like, okay, they have different sort of physics to us, so any up exercise and food, no worries. Cheers, coffee. Have your tanzans. But yeah, they're kind of like so the daylilies are the part of like the electricity and currents and everything that they have in their world. So in this room, they're part of the lighting, for example. Kind of the lighting, but also they go around the rest of the room. But yeah. Okay, technical break time, which is all good. So, oh my goodness. I can use this. No. Yes, hello Angel Faye, hello Katie May Wrights. Currently in ad break. Oops. Okay. So, where are the rest of my layers? Bam. Okay, so this is the basis of the room of King Tame's office. Wait, hold on. There's another 2 files. Yeah. And yes. So that's the room. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick bio break, and then we're going to go into presentation, which is the next part of the visual novel week. For this week, presentation on my visual novel, where I'm at, what I'm doing, why maths, how does that work. See you in a couple of minutes.